genuinely cannot remember anything about the poetry he writes. Auntie, I love you too. And honestly, I have been scared to share them on the internet because I'm like, I don't want to get any hate because I know she's quite a popular poet. This is so gay. Hello there, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back. My name is Priyanka, or PM in writing or on stage, because I am a spoken word poet, aspiring author, and bookish content creator on here, and Book Talk and Bookstagram. So if you haven't checked me out on those platforms yet, then please do. And today we're going to be tier ranking some GCSE poets, because I know GCSE results day in the UK, as of when I'm recording this, has literally just come and gone. And I thought this would be a nice fun video in case you're a student watching this, or if like me you're an adult who did English literature at GCSE and you are just craving some nostalgia and comfort and good vibes in these terribly apocalyptic and wild times that we are going through in the UK. And fun fact, I actually used to teach this GCSE syllabus when I was at university. I did tutoring and teaching on the side, so I know these poets pretty well. But if you are a student watching this, I just want to say before we jump into the video that if your results day didn't go as planned, and maybe if you're feeling a little bit down about how your results went, please try not to stress about it too much. I know when you're going through it, it can feel like GCSEs are the most important things in the world, because it's the time where you've just started doing national level exams. But honestly, when I was sitting down to record this video, I was trying to think about what actually happened on my GCSE results day, and honestly, I don't remember the results I got at all. And actually, the only thing that I do remember is that my parents got me this teddy as part of a gift for GCSEs, and I very cleverly named it GCSE Teddy because I'm very inventive with names, and yes, I am a poet now. Alright, so I have my Mac here. We are going to rank the poets that are on the AQA GCSE syllabus. When I was at school, I think we did OCR, but this is the one that I taught and I know most schools are doing. And I feel like this would be a good time to point out, though, that there are still less white men on the syllabus than when I had to study it. So I'm glad that it's improving, and I feel like that is probably in part related to the Lit in Colour programme that Penguin Random House are running. And this is not a spawn, but I did just want to give a shout out to them, because I do feel like the team and the people working on that project are so enthusiastic about getting more diverse poets onto, and not even poets, authors as well, onto the GCSE and A-level English syllabi. So basically, all of that was to say that I have some very strong opinions about all of these poets, and I'm not going to be apologising for them, so let's get right to it. So, for the S tier, we have Roses are red, violets are blue, you're the best, and I love you, because I am a poet, so I just wanted to point that out. For the A tier, we have Oh Romeo, you're pretty good, you know. For the C tier, we have Roses are red, violets are blue, you didn't quite make it, boo, because I couldn't think of anything else that would rhyme that way. For the C tier, we have to yeet or not to yeet, that is the question, and specifically yeet off of the syllabus. And for the D tier, we have Lost in Translation, aka you suck, because at that point I ran out of poetry lines to use. So let's go in this order, let's start. So this, oh my god, I'm already which white man is this? Oh my god, I genuinely don't remember. I think it's William Blake? Okay, yep, it's William Blake, alright. I remember whenever I had to teach William Blake, I had to give the historical context and what happened to the romantic poets and stuff like that. And I think him as a poet is good to understand the romantics, but would I say I like his poems? No. But would I say he sucks? No. So I'm gonna put him into yeet or not to yeet. Okay, so this next poet I had to look up because I got this list of poets online, and I was like, I've never heard of this person before, which is Jane Weir. Her poems might be great, but I don't know who you are, so I'm also going to have to put you into yeet or not to yeet. Simon Armitage. When I was working in my previous job at Penguin, we tried to get one of our poets onto his podcast, never got a reply. So honestly, I'm a little bit salty about that. But he does seem quite fun in like a kooky kind of way. And I do remember we didn't actually do Simon Armitage in our course. We only did one poet, like one contemporary poet, which was Caroline Duffy, which I'll come on to that in a minute. But I do remember like reading some of his work and actually liking it, and I think he's got quite a fun vibe. I know he likes to write poems in his shed, and that's also where he records his podcast, I think. So I'm gonna put him in the A tier. Ooh, Seamus Heaney, man. I remember when I saw on BBC News when there was information about him passing away, and I was actually quite sad. I think his poems are actually really good, and he seems like a fun, like, Irish uncle that you can hang out with. So I feel like I'm gonna put him in the A tier. Maybe? Okay, I'm gonna put him in the A tier for now. Okay, which white man is this? I have completely forgotten. I think it's Tennyson. Let me look it up. Okay, yeah, it's Tennyson. So, I genuinely cannot remember anything about the poetry he writes. I'm putting him in the D tier. He sucks. If you're not memorable, you suck. Ooh, okay. Now we come on to the main event, which is Carol Ann Duffy. Now, if you know me in real life, you know that I have quite strong opinions about Carol Ann Duffy. And honestly, I have been scared to share them on the internet because I'm like, I don't want to get any hate because I know she's quite a popular poet. I know there are quite a few people who like her, particularly like women who feel like her, you know, her poems really resonate with them. However, if I were to summarize how I feel about her in the most concise way possible, without getting angry, without sounding mean, it would be that I find her poetry quite pretentious. I feel like she tries to give off the air in her writing of like, yes, I am a poet and I'm writing this deep thing about this thing that happened. Like, I remember when she was poet laureate and she wrote a poem about the Orlando shootings that happened, I think it was 2016, and she basically wrote a poem being like, people are gay, did you know? Did you know that people are gay? And I was just kind of frustrated because I was like, there's so much more that you could say about this and in a better way, and it's just not good. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say for now. If you want me to do a full rant, please leave a comment and let me know, because I will. So there you go. Oh, okay, so this was another poet that I also didn't know, but it is nice to see that, you know, okay, even if she is a white woman, you can correct me on that if you know more about her than I do, and maybe I'm making assumptions, maybe she's white passing, but I also didn't know her. Carol Rumens. I'm gonna put you into yeet or not to yeet because I don't know enough about you, Carol Rumens. Oh, now we come to my bae. I love Imtiaz Dakar, and I am so happy that they are putting her on the GCSE syllabus. Honestly, where she belongs. I absolutely adore her writing style, the way she writes. She gives off like really cool Indian auntie vibes. Like, I'd love to just sit with her at a wedding and chat to her and be like, auntie, I wrote this poem, and then her be like, beta, I love this poem, and I'm like, auntie, I love you too. So she is easily going in roses are red, violets are blue, you're the best, and I love you because I love Imtiaz Dakar. Okay, so this is another white woman poet that I didn't know anything about, which is Beatrice Garland, and I don't know, I'm gonna have to put it in yeet or not to yeet. Oh my god, yes, John Agard. Okay, so I haven't read too much of John Agard's poetry, but again, so happy that there are more poets of colour on the syllabus, and I think he also writes in a certain dialect. I don't know if it's like the Creole dialect, but I remember actually reading some of his work at uni and I quite liked it. Don't know if I would say it's S tier though, so he's going in pretty good, you know. Okay, so this is Percy Shelley. Right, so automatic brownie points off the bat for marrying Mary Shelley. What an icon. but unfortunately he is not Mary Shelley. If it was, I'd put her in S tier. But I know that Percy Shelley wasn't actually recognised in his lifetime, and I think he might have been friends with Keats. So, I don't think he quite makes the cut though. There we go. Ooh, okay, so now we have Robert Browning, and I actually quite like him. He was extremely left-wing. He was like for, from the Victorian times, you know, like for female emancipation, against slavery, you know, we love that. And he actually writes great poetry, so I will put him in A tier. I don't think I love him, like I wouldn't be like, oh, I want to read some good poetry, let me go read some Robert Browning. Oh, abuser alert, abuser alert. Now we have Ted Hughes, who can easily go sit in a bin. No doubt about that. If you don't know, he used to beat up his wife, Sylvia Plath, and it's proven that he was an abuser, and honestly, I don't think his poems are that good. They all seem a bit too long. Ugh, and finally, we come to Bay, Wilfred Owen. Now, I remember reading war poems at school, and immediately I was kind of instantly turned off, and I was like, I like the writing, but I don't like poems that deal with the subject matter of war. However, when I read Wilfred Owen's poetry, I thought it was really clever, because it was the first time that I had come across something like that. And then I later found out that he was gay, and I think reading into his poems more, I don't think we were taught that at school. I think it was just something that I looked up and found out, and I was like, oh my god, yes, same. And actually going back and reading a lot of his poems, I was like, this is so gay. And I think it's always good to include more queer poets on the syllabus. Like, as far as I'm aware, the only other one here is Caroline Duffy. So, you know what? I'll put him in S tier. The S tier is looking a bit lonely. Let's go. And that is my ranking of GCSE poets. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment. Honestly, I am all down to hear your opinions on GCSE poets. Fight me in the comments, let's go. And like I said before, if you are a student watching this and your GCSE results day didn't necessarily go as planned, please do not worry. I can guarantee that you will be fine, you will find a path, and it will all be okay. Just have faith that whatever has happened for a reason, and I wish you the best of luck with whatever you do going forwards. And either way, you did those exams. We're going through a really weird time in the UK right now, so congratulations for doing that. And as always, I hope you are having a lovely day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.